The 2027 Champions League final will be Kylian Mbappe's first trophy in the Champions League of his entire career. The 72nd season in 2027 is going to be the year of Kylian Mbappe. Kylian is 72, the 72nd Champions League, the 2027 final. They haven't really announced a final yet. Would they really have Real Madrid winning at Atletico Stadium? The last European final to be held at Baku, I remember, was the Europa League final in 2019. It's Chelsea that is Gematria Mbappe. They won the Europa League final at Baku. So if Baku is getting the final in 2027, then you have to connect it to the last time Baku hosted a European final. It doesn't have to be Champions League. It could also be the Europa League. They defeated Arsenal with Saudi 4-1. But basically, that is connecting the last time Baku held a final. It's Baku that's 35. The 35th Champions League, since it was renamed from the European Cup, could be held at Baku. Now, Barcelona obviously is always a contender. Barcelona is 35, and Lamine is Gematria of 2027. So we cannot count out Barcelona as another contender. Will you ever see El Clasico in the final? I correctly predicted this possibility to not have any chance for this season. El Clasico in reverse is 56, and the final would be held on a day of 5-6, and Mbappe came over to Real Madrid from Paris, France. Again, Paris is 27, Mbappe 27, he came over from Paris. A Paris player is going to win this particular edition of the Champions League. I'm going with Baku as the host. I just can't see Real Madrid in a rival of Atletico Madrid winning at Spain. I mean, the closest, was Portugal, where Ronaldo won at Portugal. Azerbaijan 66 would be Gematria of the Los Blancos of Real Madrid. Blancos 42, Azerbaijan 42. Baku, Azerbaijan is Gematria of 94, which is Gematria of Real Madrid Club de Football. Okay? This would be Kylian Mbappe's first ever Champions League title. It was originally supposed to be held at Milan. Milan 49 is Gematria of Madrid, of course. Will Xabi Alonso be the manager of Real Madrid at that time? Yes. Xabi is Gematria of 72 and 27. The Champions League final in 2027, the 72nd edition of the Champions League. Kylian 36, Xabi 36. So the Bayern Leverkusen manager will be Real Madrid manager at that moment in time. Xabi Alonso 112. Los Blancos is under 12. Milan was originally supposed to hold the final. Milan is Gematria of Alonso. When I look at, a final originally supposed to be held at X location, I look at COVID. Istanbul, Turkey hosted the where they were supposed to hold the 2020 final before COVID hit, but then Bayern, which is from Bavaria, ended up winning that final in 2020. So that same logic can be applied. Let's type it all out. When was Mbappe introduced as a Real Madrid player? Or better yet, let me get the full name of this guy. He'll be 27 years of age at the start of that particular season in the summer of, 27, 28. This year, I just feel that Mbappe doesn't want the shame of going down to PSG, Real Madrid. They don't want to lose a final to Barcelona, so they want to avoid losing the Barca again. They want Mbappe to avoid losing against his former team, PSG, the shame of that. So I think they purposely lost against Arsenal. That's not out of the realm of possibility. The signing of Real Madrid. So, he'll win the Champions League 36 months later. 36 team field in the Champions League. Now, Real's gematria of 72 and 27 in 36 months after Mbappe agreed to the contract. So again, you see everything concurrently next to each other. Real, Xabi, Kylian. Now notice that Mbappe held his presentation in July. So he would win the Champions League 35 months after the presentation, after he was presented with the number 9 shirt. 35 months later, Mbappe will win UEFA Champions League from the time that after the Euro was played that he was presented as a player of Real Madrid. So that's the key connection to make right there. The 2026 Champions League would see Mbappe win the Champions League beginning in 2026. Now 26-27 does add up to Mbappe's gematria. So 34 months, 26 days. This rounds up to 35 days. You have a little bit of a shaming ritual happening here after losing against Arsenal. Again, I never predicted Real Madrid to win the Champions League this year. I had them losing before the final. Barcelona is my prediction this year. Not sure what 167 is about, but you guys know very well in advance that Kylian Mbappe, the former player from AS Monaco, who came over from Paris, is going to win the 2027 final with Xabi Alonso as manager. Leverkusen's Camacho 42. Xabi Alonso would come over from Leverkusen, and Azerbaijan is 42. So all the Camachists line up perfectly as we see fit. Love or hate Real Madrid, they're going to win that particular Champions League. Lamine Yamal is due for big things. Could we see Yamal and Mbappe in the future Champions League final? Who knows? Who knows? Yamal and Mbappe.